Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Tentoculus from CZT Tomas Padros. Okay, this is another unique tangle and oh so neat. All right, I am going to start with kind of a curvy line. And sure, I'm going to, well, I'll start it close to the bottom. Like so. And you know what? I think let's do one, we'll kind of mirror this. So, well, sort of. Okay. You can tell the natural style is comfortable and not. But it will all end up great in the end, I have no doubt. All right, so this one, once you have your lines set, then we're going to put in some concurrent C shapes. All right, so I am gonna start right down here at the bottom. I do believe, yes. Okay, and just kind of going up. You can have these be as far apart as you want. You can have this part come up as high as you want. You can vary it as you're going, completely up to you. And I highly, highly recommend take a look at the For More Inspiration link. All right, I'm just going to end it right there. Because in the For More Inspiration link will take you to Tangle Patterns, which is where I found this. And there you will see Thomas's work, and make sure to scroll down past the step out so that way you can see some of Thomas's hints on this, and some other ways to do it, some great ideas. That's one of the nice things, and I'm going to do the same thing up this side here. That is one of the nice things about Thomas's work, is that he always provides a bunch of information on his thoughts on whatever the pattern is that he has created, ways that you can do it, a plethora of information for happy tangling. All right, so I've done the outsides of these. Now we're going to do the inside. And what I picked up on, because I was thinking, well, gosh, how will you combine this? So let me say two tips that I picked up. Number one was that they don't have to line up. That's perfectly okay. But then if you wanted to do multiple things like this, one way is really to do, one of the ways was you can kind of do like rounding. So I'm just going to make a curve line here, and then we'll start up each side. And I'm going to try to make them symmetrical. It is not the easiest thing in the world to do, that is for sure. So it's nice to know from him that it's okay if they don't line up. It's all right. Okay, let me get this other side. Gosh, sorry, I keep flopping that down there. Well, I'm already off here. So this side will show us how we really are okay if it's off. Because sometimes once you get going, it's like, okay, I don't want to stop. Okay, just on the end there. All right, so then filling in. So all of these little gaps, we're going to fill those in. And you know what that, if you've been following me, you know what that means. Course correction time, course correction opportunities. And that is, and if you haven't been following me, you have no idea what I'm talking about. One of the primary Zentangle philosophies is that there's no such thing as a mistake in Zentangle. And so I just call them course corrections. So if you're not happy with, you don't have to just leave it and, like, oh, all right, well, there it is. That's okay. I mean, you can, but there are a lot of times ways to, and I call it course correcting, to adjust things I had heard a speaker one time a long time ago, and I can't remember if it was to do with planes or boats, ships, where a lot of times the navigation isn't just a straight line point A to point B, but a series of course corrections along the way, because otherwise you could end up off course if you just like, oh, I'm just making a straight line from here to here. And I think it, you know, for ships, it probably has to do with, well, either way, it has to do with currents, whether it's air or not, air or water. So I always like that, and kind of just decided, well, I like that way better than, you know, saying anything else. So when you want to course correct with the fill in, and again, that's just one of the many ways that we have. And let me see, as I'm going here, I'll pick one to do. Oh, maybe this. So, for instance, say you're not, it's like, oh, you know, look at, well, actually, yeah, look at that. The curve is not really so great. It kind of has this little point here. So I would then just kind of trace over and redefine what the bottom of that looks like. And it kind of thickens things up. So you can go along the way and do that. I also will do that like right here where there's this little bump. And sometimes it's a matter of, let me turn the tile so I can get it in my sights better. And, you know, it's just like redoing that line a little bit, and I'll just essentially trace over the edge, because you're never going to get that exact, and a lot of times it's just enough to cover it. Okay. So once you have all of your spaces filled in and say things look good to ya, then we're just going to put some dots in. Dots are very small orbs, whichever way you want to think about it. And these can be whatever size you want also. And I'm just, I kind of putting them towards the top, so towards these peaks. Let's see. I'm looking at his, they all seem to be kind of, you know, sort of centered-ish, you know, and that's, again, that is a completely up to you type of thing. But what's neat is, until I put the dots in, you don't really see this nice edge. The magic of putting these dots in is that it seems to create, and I'm just going to put one kind of in the middle here. Then all of a sudden, oh, look it, this line develops. So comparing the two sides, I just find it fascinating, and I mean, but beyond interesting, it's fascinating that just by putting in those dots, and I really wasn't being careful of, you know, where I was putting them. I'm just trying to put them sort of, you know, at the top of this opening, that it makes it look as if it's solid. So we'll do the same thing here, and it's neat doing something like that where you can see the difference. All right, and then, well, actually, I didn't need to turn it that direction. I can just leave it here. Oops, and let's make that a little bit there. That makes me happier. You will see too in the For More Inspiration link, again towards the bottom, one of Thomas's examples, he does, it's almost like an aura in here, and like a little half of an orb, but kind of auras the shape, but it's cut off, so there is more of a flat line where on the top, where these are just little dots, and it creates a little bit different look. So really, really neat. All right, so let's see if we wanted to do some shading on this, and the trick with this is going to be the fact that there's not a lot of white, because we have the dark here in the middle, but you can make it look kind of round. Let me just put it in, well, let me just do that one side and leave it at that. or not leave it at that. Let me just start there and then we'll go. Because for it to look rounded, you want to have some of the natural tile color show through. Oh, and saying this is good. So, in one of my playings, I had the graphite. Really, it was covering the whole side, so it doesn't really give it that rounded look. Although I could go a little bit darker, and that might help with that. But when this whole thing is colored in, it just looks like it's colored in, and you don't get that illusion of the rounding with that. So just something to think about if you know what you want your outcome to be. Well, I'm going to do this outside. A lot of times I like to just do the same side, whatever it is. So this is on the left side. And I'm just trying really hard to just spread the graphite out. So I'm kind of going sideways, and then, with a little bit of a circle, so that way it's not pulling it all the way in. Yeah, and you can see that's rounding it. Okay, so since I was so careful, let's see if I can do the other side too. I'm also putting the graphite kind of way on the outer edge of this, and that seems to be helping. And again, just moving it almost more back and forth than down, just so that way you develop that gradient versus just, oh, there's some graphite. You got to have a little gradient. And two, Thomas had some ideas for like how to finish those too, which I think was kind of neat. Of course you can, finish it however you want to, but I love that he has listed some options. So there we go. And like I said, you can see, because I did manage to leave a little bit of the light there. Let's see, let me dim a little bit so you make, get the contrast a little better so you can see. But yeah, just adding to both sides, and again, making sure, even if it's just a little tip, like it is on a lot of, some of those, it's enough that it makes a difference. And that you can see that rounding. Super cool. All right. Oh, and then I say here's my little goofy sample. So you can do these, kind of like tentacles or just in odd shapes, and it's a matter of playing with where they come together and playing with that. But yeah, take a look at the For More Inspiration link for great ideas. And yeah, super fun. All right, so if you enjoyed the video, we'd love to have you give us a thumbs up. Feel free to share it. And if you liked it enough to see more and you're not subscribed already, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. Of course, that is free. Just click subscribe. And then also make sure to, check the notifications. If you are like... well, if you want to see them, notifications when I post videos show up in your email, or, they have options there. So just make sure to select what's appropriate for you. I don't like to have a lot of pop-ups or emails, and I just want to let you know to check the notifications so that way you can select how you want to be notified. Because I would not want you to say, oh, that Heather, she posts so often, I'm just going to unsubscribe. I would rather have you be a subscriber and not get any notifications. If that's the way you like it, like me. All right. Also, in the description section below, the step outs are ways to connect with me if you would like to. I do classes online every week. Most of them are free. I have a couple during the month that are a paid class. Those are on Tuesdays. Everything else is on Thursday. So would love to have you join us sometime. We have a great amount of fun, create some amazing work, and like I said, it's a blast. All right, so with that, I hope to see you online sometime, and yeah, I think that's it. I covered everything. All right, well, thanks for watching, and if you watched to this point, thanks extra. And I wish you lots of happy tangling. Have fun with this one.